Good evening, everyone. Today we have Mr. Madhur Kukreja with us. Let's start with the questions. Sir, can you please enlighten us about yourself and your company?
Sure. So I'm Madhur Kukreja, and I run a startup company called as Happy FinServe, and we are into financial planning, we are into wealth management, and we are into retirement planning. So the whole objective of what we do and what we operate on is that people do earn money, right? Either they do a job or they do a business, and they do earn money by doing their active work. अगर कोई काम कर रहा है, if someone is working in, let's say, government sector or private sector, that is the active job that they are working on. But once they earn money and they just spend some money, the money that is left after spending, they have to invest somewhere, right? The whole point of putting that spare money to use is that it should be invested somewhere such that it should grow faster than the inflation, and two, it should be tax efficient, right? So the way that we come in is we provide handhold guidance on how much investment should be made, in what product investment should be made, and what are the different things that one should take care of while investing their hard-earned money in. That's what we do.
Thank you, sir. Let's start with the second question. What is the most valuable strategy that is worth for more than $1 million that you wish someone told to you earlier on in your career?
So see, matlab, in any business that you do, the best strategy is that you should always listen to your customers. See, as entrepreneurs, the most common mindset one has is that what I am thinking and what my team is thinking is the right thing to do, right? And once any product or any service of you that you develop has to be used by some customers, right? And it has to be used frequently by a lot of customers, right? So the best strategy is to be humble, to be nimble, and to always keep your ears open for the voice of the customer, right? Because ultimately, any product or any service that we develop, it is only for the betterment or for the efficiency of the customer. And if we just keep our ears on the ground and we have a lot of helping attitude towards the customer, right, that is the best strategy that works well in almost every business. It is very hard to find a business or a successful business that day in and day out helps for the betterment of the customer and has failed. Almost all successful businesses, however small or large they have been, they always tend to hear and keep the customer feedback always in the loop. So this is the most important thing that works in our field also, because our field is of finance, and apart from everything, the bedrock of everything is trust, right? Because our clients have to trust on what essential advice we give to them. So the quality of advice will not be judged today. Because if someone is investing money, he or she is not investing money for tomorrow or day after tomorrow. He or she is investing money for 5 to 10 years ahead of their lives, right? So the test of our advice will not be tomorrow or day after. It will be 10 years ahead, right? So we will be judged by our quality of advice 10 years ahead. So that level of trust is important, and that level of gratitude and ears to the customer is very important.
Thank you, sir. Let's start with the third question. What was the major turning point in your career?
See, we are a financial planning company, and the major point that in my career especially has been the pivot to a more focused approach. So earlier, what we used to do was that we used in financial planning, we used to do multiple things, right? Insurance is part of wealth management, investment, mutual funds is part of wealth management, PMS is part of wealth management, fixed deposits is part of wealth management, loans is part of wealth management, right? And once we were focusing on 5 or 10 different things, we were at some level of doing business, right? The moment we eliminated almost 80% of what we did in order to focus on just 20% of what we can do the best, our business grew 10 times, right? So just as, I mean, God is in the details, profit is in the niches. So the more focused you are in providing the best amount of service for a limited category of product for your customers, is the time that you can enhance your value in the mind of the customer. So once we became more focused on the core aspect of investing, right? So at that point in time, our internal teams, they became much more focused on what to do for the customers, the customer references, the way they perceived us, the way they referenced us or they told their friends about us. They were very focused on what they did. They were especially important and what they not did do. So they never told their friends that you should contact Happy FinServe for the loans part, because we didn't do loans. We eliminated the loans aspect completely. You should contact Happy FinServe for the fixed deposits part. We didn't do it, right? So at that point in time, once we focused on doing a few different things, more wood behind fewer arrows, at that point in time, our scale grew 10 times, our profitability grew 20 times, right? So the turning point has been, and my advice has always been, to do fewer things and do them very well, rather than doing a lot of different things and not doing anything perfectly.
Thank you, sir. Let's start with the fourth question. What does it mean to be an entrepreneur and the message you would like to give to young students who aspire to be an entrepreneur too?
Yeah, so I mean, there are 2 or 3 aspects that I would like to give as advice to the budding entrepreneurs, right? It is, the number one thing is that if you want to become successful in entrepreneurship, it is extremely hard. However charming as it may look from the outside, from the inside, the world is very unforgiving. By the world, I mean the customers, because there is competition, there is technological shift, there are hundreds of factors that you think will go wrong, and they actually will go wrong, right? So the most important thing is that you have to persevere, right? And despite all odds, you have to continue, you have to keep working very hard. It is not a part-time job. Some people tend to think that entrepreneurship means that you can continue by being involved in a full-time job and having a part-time entrepreneurship. That just doesn't work, right? So you have to be fully invested in what you are doing. You have to be very focused, and third most important thing is you have to work very, very hard, right? And by very hard, I mean 24/7, 365. There are no holidays, there is no work-life balance, there is only work. And apart from all of that, You need a very good team in order to take what you think, the vision, forward to a lot of different people. You need a highly skilled team. So an individual entrepreneur, however skilled or competent he or she may be, can only do this much. But if they build a really good team of 5 or 6 people and then expands further, then sky's the limit, right? Because India is at a stage where the demand of every product is increasing. And with technology and with shift to middle class and then to higher class premiumization trend, people do have the money. People do have the spending power. It is just about taking your skills and using your skills to solve their problems. So the best advice would be work very hard, have a very strong team, and never give up.
Thank you, sir. Does Think Startup have a permission to upload our conversation on their social media platforms?
Yeah, of course. I would be happy that if this message gets across to a wide variety of people who are looking to get into entrepreneurship. And I feel fortunate that Think Startup has given me a platform to share my ideas. So I'd be happy. And in case anyone does need any kind of guidance, so they can contact you, Arav. Thank you so much. You have been a wonderful host. So thank you so much. You have my permission.
Thank you, sir, for giving us your precious time. Thanks a lot.